Timmy again is at a different location.
Where in the world is Timmy Bain?
This is our seventh episode, and this is the sixth or seventh time legit that you've been. I want to go back and track, or somebody watching this can go back and please track at all the different setups that Timmy's had. I've had the same setup the entire time, and
Consistency, someone has to be the anchor. Anchor. Someone has to be the anchor.
From Nassau, Bahamas, that is Timmay Bain. Timmay Bain. From New York City, I'm Bryan Fonseca. We are the Bahamarican Boys. Welcome
to Bahamarico.
To Bahamarico, yes. Look, we don't have a ton of time that we're working with, so we're gonna keep this brief.
Jump right in.
But right into it. The Heat 1-2 without Bam Adebayo, who many of you know by now is out with thumb injury, torn UCL in his thumb, which other NBA players have had and have missed roughly 4 to 6 weeks. 5 Reasons Sports, our guys are reporting that that's probably more on the optimistic side, that it could be longer. So, preparing to have Bam out for an extended period of time, regardless of what it ends up being. What we've seen so far, though, Timmy, 1-2 without him. At least this stretch, because he did miss a couple of games earlier in the year. They first of all, the day that it was announced they played the Cleveland Cavaliers of all teams.
That's the start, the longest and tallest start, like with Laurie Mark, 3, Mobley, and John Allen, and they bring Kevin Love off the bench. That's the worst team to play after losing your starting max all-star player, who's a big man. That was the worst matchup.
Yeah, and they got, as Spencer Hall says, whomped. And then, they after that rebounded, got an impressive win against the Indiana Pacers, and then
Duncan had his best game of the season.
Duncan came back to life, and Kyle Lowry had one of his best games as well. Impressive road win without Jimmy and Bam. And then the Milwaukee Bucks, they lost that game to Milwaukee. I think that was the second of a back-to-back also.
And I was actually not expecting a better game without Bam. Second time back-to-back. It's the Bucks. Yes, Giannis is out. Lopez is out. But that team is just championship caliber. You still have Chris, still have Drew. So I wasn't actually shocked that we lost. I think, but tomorrow they play again, and Jimmy is back. Yeah. Jimmy is back after the tailbone injury. We've seen how Jimmy has played after taking a week or so off. I know he still has some beef with this Bucks team after being stupidly locked in and gotten swept. Yeah. So I expect an entire different energy tomorrow.
So with that being said, now that we've laid all that groundwork out, as you noted, Timmy, Jimmy Butler is going to be back. And look, this is a very important stretch now because life without Bam, as we're about to talk about, very difficult. So right now, I don't think there's any replacing what he can do, but from what you've seen from these 3 games and them just sort of trying out KZ Okpala, and then we saw a lot of Omer Yurtseven. Obviously, Dwayne Dedmon got the starts. PJ Tucker, who's been playing every game so far, he's obviously going to have to play up on many nights now. So what have you seen so far as life without Bam goes?
For those who have watching, you've known that KZ is a disappointment to me and Brian. And we were thinking now this is finally the time to have KZ gets type of minutes. Honestly, I think KZ isn't ready. And if you don't play him now, when do you actually play him?
Never.
Right. So I think that maybe the Cleveland game was too quick to judge, but it was interesting. The moment that Spo benched KZ and even played UD and Yurt, it looked better. So what I've seen, which is a bad thing, and it actually happened while Bam was playing, and we spoke about this. Yeah. The Heat's rebounding has been dropping, and it's not just one player. The team itself, everyone's rebounds are done across the board. So before we lost Bam, who was our leading rebounder, the rebounder was trending badly. So when you lose him, it's bad. What I don't like is that you see why guys are minimum guys, and you see why guys are bench players. Dedmon shouldn't be playing 35 minutes a game. He's great in spurts, in that 10-minute here, 5-minute here. When you get him going too long, he gets, I don't know if it's winded or the energy slows down. Haslam's 41, I like we got a 5-minute boost from him, and like he had a couple of jumpers and he played good defense. But sadly, as the team is constructed, there's no one person can replace what he can do. So we need more from Kyle when it comes to passing and scoring. You need more from Caleb. And I love Caleb's game, but maybe this is why he was cut. He's not the next Jimmy Butler. Like he isn't Tyler Hero. Oh, and also Hero needs to go back to the bench.
Mm.
I think he's playing too much. He's doing great. But I think it's now over reliance because I saw Larry defer to Hero.
Yeah.
Like yeah,
It,
he's boy wonder, but Larry, you are the $90 million player.
yeah. So I agree. I think Hero should go back to coming off the bench. Because you're gonna play him starters minutes regardless. But the idea is that he gives you that jolt of energy 6 minutes into the game, and then it just goes from there. Adds a different dynamic. You can if Lowry's gonna be Kyle Lowry, it shouldn't be a problem anyway for
Right.
Hero to come off the bench. Now, what you're articulating is that it's difficult because everybody has to play up a level. And everybody has to just sort of next man up this without their guys. Now, with Jimmy Butler back, it's going to look different because Jimmy's he's gonna solve a lot of problems. Yes, he's gonna fill a lot of holes. Like it's gonna be sort of like what you would expect. So long as he's out there, knock on wood, because you don't want him to miss too many more games at this point. But with him out there, that's going to alleviate a lot of things. At the same time, though, as far as the interior goes, I mean, it's not going to sort of fix itself with Jimmy Butler because you're still going to need help on the inside. Now, as far as Dwayne Dedmon goes, I agree. Not somebody you want to have to see play 35 minutes a night. He's never really been that guy, and that's fine. He doesn't have to be. He shouldn't have to be. KZ Okpala, I don't want to see him play the 5. I don't think that that's something that's very sustainable. You could argue that size was maybe the issue for even Bam in some instances. You know what I mean? Like maybe he gets hurt because he's playing center and has to match up with all these bigger dudes. Maybe that's a sort of another discussion for another day. What makes sense for him more? But the person that I want to see more of is Omer Yurtseven. And we were talking about this earlier. Omer Yurtseven, I want to see him get a chance. We're going to get to like what they should do transaction wise at the end of this. We're going to play a little game there. But Omer Yurtseven, like I saw him 6 times in college. I thought it was only like 3, but and as we put up right there his numbers the last 2 games, because this is the only 2 games that we got to see him for more than 8 minutes. Right. He looked good against the Pacers in particular, keeping Sabonis off the boards and sort of making
that's something I've been shocked to see from Heat. I'm so used to the team getting bullied. Like you can't just push yours around. He held his own.
So let's remember a couple things about Omer Yurtseven. He's only 23. Last year he was in the G League from Turkey. Was actually one of the best, like highest rated recruits before playing at North Carolina State in college, where he was at for a couple of years. Saw him in the ACC tournament when they were here in Brooklyn at Barclays Center. 1 year he didn't play much. The next year they were one and done. He had 20 points, 9 rebounds against Boston College, which I remember that. And then he ended up transferring to Georgetown. This is where I really remember. Like he had some big games. There was one game in particular, Timmy. I want to see what you think about this. He was in foul trouble, so he only played 13 minutes. He had 10 points, 4 rebounds, 2 blocks at Madison Square Garden against Texas. Your boy Kai Jones.
Oh, wow.
And Jericho Sims was also in that game, who's now with the Knicks. Georgetown won. The next day they came back to the Garden. This is where I sent you the clip. There's a clip on my YouTube, y'all, of me asking Patrick Ewing a question about Omer Yurtseven from 2019 when Georgetown played Duke, because Omer Yurtseven was in foul trouble, still had 21 points in like 24 minutes against Vernon Carey, who is now with the Charlotte Hornets or whatever the case may be. Had another very good game against Georgetown. This is the one that impressed me a lot. 13 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists.
How many minutes?
And 34 minutes. Okay, they were deferring more to the guards there, but he had a lot of rebounds and a lot of assists. I'm going to get back to the assists in a second. And then the last one was literally the day that COVID shut everything down. So, yeah, I was trying to get in and out of there quick. No media for me, you know what I'm saying? But the thing that always stood out to me about Omer Yurtseven and why I remember DMing you, I was kind of excited when he got him, because I was like, yo, I think this guy could actually be a rotation big man, a functional player, like a guy who can hang around in the NBA for a while, because he's very skilled down low. If you watch him, prior to what he's shown with the Heat, because he hasn't been allowed to show it that much.
I remember like some of the you saw he had the tools. He had the tools, and he knows how to use his size.
Yeah, it's tools, knows how to use his size, good rebounder, good passer. And I always like, the thing is, the numbers, you're not gonna always see it in the assists. I went through this with Rondé Hollis Jefferson when I covered the Nets a few years ago. This was before they made the playoffs with D'Angelo Russell in them, but they had D'Angelo Russell. He was just hurt all year. 2017-18 season, Rondae Hollis-Jefferson averaged like 2.5 assists per game. But I remember watching a lot of games where he had like 5, 6, whatever assists. Omer had sort of that impact at Georgetown. I feel like maybe he had a lot of hockey assists instead. But I think that he's somebody that I want to see take advantage of this.
Because he's not a black hole. He doesn't like force like Whiteside used to, like, I'm gonna get this shot regardless,
Yeah.
That was, and if Whiteside learned to just, pass out, maybe.
Yeah. So what do you have? And Dwayne Dedman's numbers, we have those running out there. Thank you, David. 25 minutes a game in the 6 starts that he's played. So all of these are Bamless games. Almost 8 points, over 9 rebounds, over a block. The field goal percentage is not as high, obviously, when he starts versus when he comes off the bench.
Right.
But like, I don't know what do you want to see in terms of this Dwayne Dedman, Omer Yurtseven? Do you want to see more Haslam? Like, what do you want to see specifically in terms of how they rotate the bigs?
So what I want to see and what I've been worried about is Morris. It's been about 15 games now, and he used to play small ball 5 a lot. Spo talked about, and I think it's been lost a lot. We have been talking about the inconsistency of the Heat. We're missing the guy we signed to be the anchor, like the big guy off the bench. It wasn't supposed to be no Yurt, no Casey. It was supposed to be Morris and Dedman. That was your bigs to the bench. You haven't played with Morris for 15 games. So I'm hoping to see Dedman stay around 25. You could give Yurt his 10 to 15, like get him some spurts with the bench. But Morris will have to like really take up the bulk of that load. And I think he can. I think he can come off and basically be the backup 4 and 5. He stretches the 4. He's big. He rebounds. He gets in there. Maybe too much because as we see the neck injuries, and even before this whole dust up with the Nuggets, he used to have back injuries with the Pistons. So I hope Morris is back soon because I'm actually more comfortable with what we got. If Jimmy is healthy, Lowry is going out, and we start Lowry, Duncan, Jimmy, Tucker, Dedman, and you bring Yurt, Morris, Caleb, Hero, and Gabe, because Gabe has been like hooping.
Yeah, Gabe's been good.
Like 27 or 54 or something like that from 3. Like Gabe has been really consistent. So that's what I'm focused on now. Like, can we get Morris back? And I'm actually a bit comfortable if we get Morris back.
Remember, y'all email the show, Bahamaricanboys@gmail.com, so we can pick an episode and just read all your questions. Not all Miami Heat specific. We want anything you want to know is off limits. Just be careful with the social media DMs. Timmy, let's play a little word association. Where I was talking to you about this earlier. Because we don't know when Markieff Morris necessarily, like we don't know when he's gonna come back yet. But at the same time, like, are they going to add somebody? What's the tax situation?
The Heat are like basically right. They touch they can smell. They can smell the tax. It's right. Yeah. They can smell it. They can smell it.
But it's also clear that they need to do something, right? So figure out something.
If they want to be a contender, like
you're right.
If you want to waste a year of Jimmy and Lowry and Tucker, just
and figure out some creative way to sort of but the money thing, we're gonna leave that be for now. What we want to do is we're gonna just name a bunch of guys back and forth. I'm gonna name one, Timmy's gonna name one, back and forth, just word association, just what the first word that comes to your mind. We may stop a few times to break some down.
Yeah,
these could get really funny. But and these don't all have to be bigs, because look, we'll see what happens in that sort of guard rotation, because that hasn't been perfect either. And, maybe somebody, like we've talked about a couple guys already on this show about what that sort of impact could be. But Timmy, I'm going to start this word association off because I have a list, as you know. I'm going to name one person. You're going to respond with whatever the word you think of is, and then you're going to throw a name back at me. I'm going to respond, and we're just going to keep this going for a little while. So,
gotcha.
All right, let's go right for it. Myers Leonard.
No.
No. I just know. Not even like video games or whatever.
We saw what he can do. He can set a screen. He can shoot a 3. He doesn't need that. They can use KZ for that.
Yeah, I'm not really here for it, but I just wanted to see what you thought.
Robin
Go ahead.
Lopez.
One more time.
Robin Lopez.
Disney. That's the word I think about. Um, somebody told me today, like, yo, Robin Lopez, like, why is he with the Orlando Magic? That's a
He
dumb signing.
loves
Like, yo,
film.
that's home, bro.
He
That's
loves
home. I think he has a crib in Disney World.
Yeah.
All right. Willie Hernan Gomez.
Oh. Bruiser. Bruiser.
Would you? Not playing
I like
bad.
him. I like him. And he isn't really playing in New Orleans because they play in Jackson Hayes.
Look up his contract. His contract is terrible. Terrible for him. Terrible for him. He's making almost like nothing for NBA standards.
Casey, now. Casey.
Willie Hernan Gomez. I'm gonna double check the contract thing, but
Sad young.
Perfect. He'd be perfect for like a lot of the things they need.
Yeah.
But the problem is, just he does make some bread. You know what I'm saying?
He makes some money, yeah.
Jaleel Okafor.
Nigerian. We got Depot. We got him. We got KZ for now.
Had Andre Iguodala. And also Bam.
Yeah.
Bam also, but yeah. Willie Hernan Gomez is currently on a 3-year, $7 million deal. Not a free agent until 2024. $7 million total, not per year. Okay. So you if you want to do the KZ for whatever, but yeah.
Tyus Jones.
Jimmy. That's the word I think about.
As you guys know,
he's a Jimmy guy. We talked about
Tyus to the game when his brother played. That was pretty huge.
Yeah, when Duke played Texas Tech, he flew him out, and they played together in Minnesota. James Ennis.
Poster. His first season in the league, like the first game, he had like the best dunk of the year. Like he put someone from the Magic in the poster. I can't remember who.
I can't believe he's still a free agent.
The Lakers almost signed him. I don't know why he didn't. He was in their camp. I know
he'd be better.
They need bodies.
Are we sure Taylor Horton Tucker's better than him?
No. He's clutch. So.
No, I'm kidding. Your turn.
Terrence Ross.
Shooter with a question mark. So like shooter?
Yeah, very.
He gets hot. He gets hot. He dunks too. I like Terrence Ross, but I don't know how he fits on this team. I don't even know how they would pull that off. Al-Farouq Aminu.
Hurt.
All the time.
He's always injured.
He's available. He's out there. Okay.
Harrison Barnes.
Ooh, that's my word. Ooh. Because if you can, well, you want Buddy Hield. You want Buddy Hield. You want somebody else on that team. But yeah. Sekou Doumbouya.
Raw.
Yeah, very. Yeah. I'm surprised he's not on the team though.
Yeah, he's on the Lakers, and they waited him for like chasing some guy to see. He had like 5 seasons the last time he played.
He had a cup of coffee with the Nets this summer, and then they just cut him. And he's apparently not anywhere right now. Yeah, that's it.
Daniel Tice.
Oh, he's on my list. High on my list too. Why is he in Houston? I know that's not a word, but like I guess.
For the MLE.
Here's the thing. I was trying to do this earlier with the trade machine. This is going to be my next name. I was trying to figure out if there's a pack. You don't want Daniel Tice's contract because it's long term.
No.
But Jae'Sean Tate.
Oh, I would love him.
If you could package them together.
Oh, man. I love his game. He had 32 points like last week. I love his game.
I love him. I just don't. Are they going to re-sign him? Maybe they are. His contract. He has 1 more year on his deal.
He's also a winning player. If you don't intend to win games, why do you have him?
I don't know, but KZ Okpala also makes about around the same amount. KZ Okpala could go somewhere.
Trade him now.
Yeah.
Please. And remember, during the whole Harden thing, they said that KZ, that the Rockets like KZ. You never know. Look at the time. My last name is going to be Greg Monroe.
Ooh, Georgetown. That's what I think about. That's your last one?
I think he's in the G League right now.
Greg, I don't know where he is, honestly.
Yeah, he's in G League.
I was very high. This is the one where I texted you before. I was like, this one is gonna break your brain. Mo Bamba.
I got calling.
Yo, he's on an expiring contract because he's gonna be a free
I
agent
don't
this
think they're
year.
gonna keep Isaac and Willie and Mo Wagner and Franz Wagner. I think Mo Bamba gets squeezed.
So here's the thing, right? We're not gonna get too deep into this, but I do wonder if Bam's long-term best, is at the 4 next to a guy like Mo Bamba who can shoot threes, who can rebound, who can block shots.
I would love to see that.
Like imagine that, right? Just imagine that. How long that
line
lineup could be.
Miami Heat? How would you score?
Like, I know people. I'm not going to try to trade Duncan Robinson for a sign and trade for Mo Bamba at the end of the season or something like that. But I'm just saying, like, I think there's a world where if you can find a center like that and play him next to Bam, things get very interesting.
Yeah,
but we'll leave it there. All right, we'll be back on Thursday. Remember, email the show at bahamaricanboys@gmail.com.
Go to the DMs.
Yeah. We'll end it there.